So I want to track every thought I have about myself for a week. And that's because I've been, what I've been feeling recently is that I haven't been like truly proud of myself. And it's not a confidence issue, but I haven't felt like truly proud of myself recently for like a couple of months now. And that's not like me, and I don't like that, and it's bothering me. And that's just because there's something going on in my brain that I haven't been paying attention to. So I want to figure out the root of that and fix it. And that's why we're taking on this challenge. All right, I'm taking my dogs on a walk right now. I'm going to get real honest with you. What I did today, honestly, I tried to like have a very normal day because I didn't want the excitement of like a new like self challenge. I always get excited, like giving myself a challenge of like random things that I wanted to like gather data is essentially what I'm trying to say. And I wanted to keep everything the same. So I just went about like my normal daily routine today, to see what I've been doing, like watching myself and my actions, and to see how I've been feeling about that. Okay, so I took a bit longer to process some of the thoughts that I was feeling, and what I noticed I was feeling was frustration. And that came with like a verbal thought to myself that I had today, that I was like just feeling like a loser for some reason. Like just straight up, that was the thought that I had. Like it was like that was the verbiage that came from this emotion. And I was like, what made me feel that? And I thought back, I was like, what was I feeling at that moment? And it was frustration. Because I spent so much time doing like random chores in the house, I noticed that I started to feel some type of like frustration. And I felt frustration because I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, what's making me feel the frustration? It's the fact that I wasn't like working on anything that I was passionate on throughout the day. Because also, this is important to state, after I finished running around all those errands, I was like, man, this is kind of like wasted day in a way. And so I wanted to decompress, so I grabbed my phone and I started scrolling through Reels and TikToks and responding to messages. And so like I did a whole bunch of tasks and then sat down and wasted time on my phone. And that's when the resentment started to build up with myself. Wow. Because I just wasn't working on anything that I was passionate about. And I realized to myself, I'm like, wow, if I allow myself to continue having these types of thoughts instead of doing something about it, which was to get up and start working, which I didn't do at that time, by the way. I stayed consistent. I was like, I don't want to change anything about what I'm doing right now. Those are the types of thoughts that have been making me feel not proud of myself. And what this also is making me think, I was like, I remembered this one quote from a long time ago where I heard this guy say, don't let your emotions control your actions. Let your actions control your emotions. Mind-blowing, right? But it makes so much sense. If you let your actions control your emotions, it takes so much more thought to put physical action forward, that maybe if I did more things to be proud about, I would feel more proud with myself and have a better relationship with myself. So these are the types of things that are going on at least day one of recording this, and I have a lot more days to process, but I wanted to give you an insight into the type of things that I think I'm going to be noticing over the course of this next week. So what I'm going to do right now is cut this here and go work on something that'll make me feel proud before I go to sleep tonight. So, yeah, that feels like the right thing to do. Because I do want to make a change for the better. So let's go ahead, cut it here, and I'll see you in the next clip. All right, it's getting pretty late now, and I just remembered that I really want to be consistent about meditating this week, because meditation really helps with being aware of your thoughts throughout the day. At least the type of meditation that I do. So I'm going to try to be really consistent about that this week. I won't have a lot of time for it today, obviously, but that's one of the strategies that I'm going to be using to make sure that I'm as accurate as possible during this week of introspective review, really is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into that now. I'm going to show you a really, really interesting clip of how I do it. You're never going to believe this, okay? I'm going to sit here. You can't really see me sitting, but whatever. I'm going to sit here, close my eyes, breathe in and out. Crazy, right? I just went on my morning run. 2 miles with this girl, and my vacuum just turned on, so that's some great noise quality for you. And then what was I going to tell you? Let me remember. Yeah, I was going to tell you is that, like, because this is something that's like brain related, like mindset and like habits and stuff, I just am not expecting to resolve like this thing within a week. I feel like this is going to be like a long-term perspective change for me, which is going to be really cool and interesting. And part of the reason I'm saying that is because I woke up this morning and I checked my channel, and this vaping video that I did is just going like absolutely insane. I had 3 subscribers a week ago, and now we're at 300 this morning. Just out of nowhere, and everybody's leaving such like kind, positive and supportive comments, and I just wanted to thank you guys for that as well. So I really, really appreciate those of you that have subscribed and that enjoy the content, and I hope that if you find any of this stuff interesting, that you also like hit subscribe, and maybe you take on your own personal growth challenges and stuff too anyway. If not, if you're just here for the vibes, that's cool too, but yeah, just wanted to say thank you as well. Okay, so it's towards the end of my day. Look, it's getting dark out. And I have been really reflecting since yesterday. Yesterday I told you I was feeling like, like some frustration, etc. And there was just a lot going on today, so I wasn't able to record as much as I wanted to today. Mackenzie's going through like a big thing with her job right now, where she's being offered another job that has like oh my gosh, look at Feta. That has a significantly higher oh, hello dogs. That has significantly higher pay for her, but it has like worse benefits for her, etc. So it's like, I don't know, there's just a big whole debate going on, and this leads to some of the thoughts that I was having, and I was able to put them in words today as well, because this is going on with her life, and her and I have had the conversation. She was actually really sad one day. This is sad to say, but like, her and I want to have a family someday, but in this economy, in this world that we live in right now, it just has not been affordable. And me as a man, and I like fully like in my masculinity, I want to take care of her and provide for her. And she wants to be a woman that doesn't have to work. And that in the future, if she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, I want to be able to provide that for her. And I can't do that right now, honestly. I can't pay for her to have an at-home life right now. I can't pay to have a child with her, even though I would love to. And she can't either. And it sucks. It really sucks for the both of us. To feel limited by the economy and the way that we can't do that. And it just used to be so much easier for people. And I'm of the mindset where like, it doesn't matter how hard something is. I'm never going to give up. I'm going to try as hard as I possibly can to move forward in life and make things possible for myself, even if I have to overcome more hurdles. But in this life that we're living now, it's just so much more difficult than it needs to be. And it feels so sad. And that sadness, I think, is like the knowledge that I have every day when I see her go to work, and I know that she doesn't want to, and I can't give her the option to leave. Low-key like hurts has been hurting my self-esteem to a sense. And I was able to realize that today when she was talking about her job and her benefits, and she was like, but if I go to this new company, the family plan is so much more expensive, and how are we going to afford that if we want to have kids in the future? And I was like, man, I hate feeling like I can't provide for her to the level that I want to. And that made me feel again like that feeling that I was letting her down like a loser again. And I hate that being in that position. And I think I just need to find more forgiveness with myself. I'll think about how to deal with this in a little bit, but I had to tell you that, like, this is what I recorded down today. That it was her. This is the mental struggle that I realized I've also been going through. And I've noticed that I've sent in other videos. I'm like, please help me. Like, if you want to subscribe, it would help me go in my dream and my goal right now of being able to retire my fiance. I'm going to be honest. I just want to give her the option to. She probably won't. She likes working. But it's the fact that I can't give her the option it's been hurting me on the inside, and I realize that I've been taking it out negatively on myself. So that's a little bit of what's going on in my brain, and I was able to put that in words today. So I'm going to go finish cooking our food right now, and I'll think about how to deal with this later. And I'll chat to you guys about it in a little bit. I just wanted to keep that one between us. I haven't told her that's how I'm feeling. Not that I wouldn't, but that's just something I'm not prepared to share yet. Tomorrow, she's flying out to go visit a friend. Her friend just had a miscarriage, which is so sad. So she's going to go visit that friend, and it'll give us plenty of time to think about our things that we're thinking about. She just woke up.
Hello.
Mackenzie has a decompress stress nap about once a week.
Yeah.
So she finishes work at 5, and then she takes a nap. What time is it right now?
8.
It's 8. She just immediately clocked off work and then slept until 8.
I get back to it.
Yeah, I want to retire. It's really bad.
Yeah. Please.
One day I will. I promise.
I wouldn't be stressed with this situation.
I know.
I could just do it based off vibes.
Yeah, based off of what you want to do, not what you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Earlier today, she cried just because she has to, like, make a decision and, like, leave the company she's been with, like, almost for 10 years that she loves. She loves this company versus doing what potentially makes more sense. There's just a lot going on. I think once I can think about this more clearly and put it in a better word so I'm not, like, stumbling about, I'll give you a better update. Mackenzie's upstairs. I'm having my worst nightmare right now because she told me that her job decision is being affected by the reality of the fact that I can't fully take care of her right now. Are you kidding me? This is my nightmare. This is what I'm telling you. This sucks. Wow. Suitcase coming through. Good morning. It's 6 a.m. And you know what they say. Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. Good morning and welcome to the Chris Cab.
Hello. How's your hair?
I got you your socks.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Hey, you know what they say? Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
And right now you can save 50 pounds per person. That's 200 pounds off for a family of 4.
Adios. I forgot the word.
We're going to surprise our friends.
Esposo. Close enough. We gotta go.
We dropped Mackenzie off bright and early in the morning. We woke up at 6 a.m. I'm actually pretty used to waking up that time. I wake up at like 7 right now, but it made me sleepy and I ended up taking a nap. And now it's lunchtime because I was working, but now we gotta talk. Wow, can you believe my nightmare scenario last night? She was crying, she was stressed. I mean, girls cry about everything, so like, who cares about that part in a way? Not to dismiss her emotions, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that big of a thing. It was like she was just crying because she was overwhelmed, which is something that girls seem to do often. Anyway, aside from that, she was also sad and overwhelmed, and at one point we were having a conversation privately, and I asked her, I was like, if money was not an issue at all, would you be making a different decision? And she said, I would be considering my options differently. And that's what was hurting me to my core. And I feel like, actually, funny enough, if I were to take out, like, all of the other things that go on in my life, I'm pretty much proud of, like, everything else. But it's that one part, because it means so much to me, that I haven't been able to provide for her the way that I want to, that has been dragging me down. And I've realized that instead of being patient and generous with myself, I have just not had enough compassion for myself and love with myself. And that's been the reason why this has been so important for me to like come to terms with and to recognize, is because I also think that, like, it's one of those things in life where, like, you don't know what comes first, the chicken or the egg situation. And I think that, like, two loops can feed into each other. And if I want to be confident all the time, and if I'm confident more often, I will accomplish bigger goals through that confidence. You know what I'm saying? And then because you accomplish bigger goals, then you have something else to be proud about. And then it's a self-feeding loop. And so I realized that I've just been too harsh on myself, and I feel like that's been limiting me in other areas of my life in a funny way, or just making it more difficult than it needed to be. And so I really, now that I feel like I can dissect, okay, what I've been wanting, I thought I've been failing. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I thought I was failing, like, just as a general, like, blanket statement. I said, no, I just have one part of my life that's really unfulfilled right now, which is, you know, being able to provide to the level that I want to. And I think, honestly, like, many of my generation and you know, society in general is just like, what the hell? You know, what's up with the economy? Like, why is it so fucking impossible? When, I mean, I'll wake up and I'll work, you know, 10 to 12 hours every day on passion projects and things that I care about, on top of doing other things that are productive that earn money. And it's like, what do you mean that in, like, the 1940s you just made some blueberry jam and you bought a house with it, you know? So anyway, I feel like the big dub of last night and today is the fact that, like, I don't feel like bad about myself as a general blanket anymore as of today, because I was able to identify, like, the one root of the problem and how that's spreading. I think that's kind of valuable. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're struggling with something, but if you don't feel great overall, maybe there are multiple things that are wrong, but maybe you can focus in on the one specific thing that has the biggest effect, and then, you know, work on that and let those positive effects start to spread out and tackle one thing at a time. At least that's how I'm approaching this. Aside from the fact that, like, realistically speaking, like, economy-wise, it's not like I can just snap my fingers and just be able to, you know, buy a house for us and make her retire tomorrow and be able to pay for the kids and everything that we, you know, kids that we don't have. That's not going to happen overnight. I need to take some time to think to myself, how am I going to mentally deal with this so that I don't have to feel terrible about, like, myself and have a bad relationship with myself throughout the process of getting there, because I will get there, just not right now. And I'm not going to give up, but I have to. It's one of those things where, like, in life, you got to enjoy the journey, not just the destination, you know? I'm going to cut it here and think about that probably for a while. You might not get an update from me until a while from now. Okay, we're driving right now. It's the next day. And I've had a lot of time to think to myself. And honestly, after everything, churning this over in my mind, the only word that I came up with to, like, solve that mental issue is just acceptance. Straight up, just mentally, like, accept without resistance, like the place that I'm at in life, and that right now I can't take care of her how I want to, but also, while accepting that, maintaining my my decision that it's not going to be like that forever. And it's kind of like, and that's the only way that I think it can just be fully happy right now and keep pushing forward with, you know, all of my drive and ambition and desire to get to that next stage of life. And that's where it's at. And I think that's the lesson that I've learned this week from this challenge that I've taken upon myself, to figure out what's been going on in my brain. And it took a few days, but acceptance is where we're at. And part of, at least, so that's that. I want to say that section is actually pretty complete, and now I want to do something about it, because also I'm not just gonna accept it and just call it good. I can do small things from now to then that, you know, make her life easier in the meantime. So we're gonna go get her car washed right now, and then we're gonna vacuum it, and I'm cleaning the house. I clean the house for myself anyway, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes she leaves it a little messy before she leaves, and I always the first day that she's gone, I deep clean the house, and I just have a mega clean house to myself for a couple of days. It's really nice. But yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna clean her car, filled it up with gas. We're gonna deep clean the house a little bit later, and she's just gonna be hyped when she gets home. And so in the meantime, we can't get to our big goal right now. We can at least enjoy the little things in the process. Okay, so we're picking up Mackenzie. We have flowers and some candies, and there she is. Also, I want to throw in here that I didn't explain this part of what I'm doing enough. I'm not just gonna wash her car and call it good and say like the whole problem is fixed. My intention of saying this was to show that like maybe I can't retire her right now, but I can make her life easier and do things that to me are taking care of her, and doing the things that are fulfilling to me. Like cleaning her car for me was fulfilling to me because she got home to a clean car, and she was really grateful that her car was clean, her gas was filled up, and it's one of those things that I was able to do right now that's very easy to take care of her right now, and it feels happy and she feels taken care of. And we have this analogy that we always talk about in our relationship, is that I want her to be a pearl and I get to be her clam in life, and I'll be like the hard outer shell protecting her, and she gets to be my pearl, right? Yeah? Oh. Oh, she does have pants on. Where are your pants?
I don't know, I lost them.
Okay, fine with me. I'm really grateful for this video because I was able to take some time to myself to reflect on the mental changes that I want to be making for myself to enjoy my life in the process of getting to where I want to be. And I feel like one other thing that I learned about this is that in life, like, it's so easy to want to be at a destination, at an end goal, that you forget to enjoy the process. And the truth is that you can't control how fast you're going to get there. So if we're going to be on this planet for who knows how long, I'm at least going to make my time enjoyable. And I was able to come up with this acceptance attitude for myself, to have a positive relationship with myself in the process of making my bigger dreams and goals a reality. So I don't know, I want to just leave this out here for you, that if you're in a spot where like you're striving for something else to be leveling up your life or get to whatever next stage, or you're just not satisfied with where you're at right now, maybe take some time to figure it out and like what's going on, but also love yourself in the whole process of doing that. And hey, at least for me at this point in my life, it's going to be some patience and dedication, and that's going to be the only way to plug along with this one. But yeah, I also just want to take a second to thank you guys again, because since I recorded the first clip when I said that I was at 3 subscribers and then 300 to right now, when I'm just done editing this video, it's at like 1,100 subscribers, which is mind-blowing because it's more than I thought that this channel would ever get. So I just want to thank you guys. And right now I'm doing the next video for you guys, which is exciting. So this one, actually, you guys really enjoyed watching me get addicted to nicotine and vaping. So now I'm doing it with Zins. And if that's something you're interested in, hey, feel free to hit subscribe. That'll be coming out probably, I don't know, like a week or so after this one. So I'm going to try to stick to a weekly schedule for this channel. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Feel free to subscribe.